So let's carry on from the same paper for Feb March 2025. We're already done with the spreadsheet. We're already done with the video editing with the movie maker. So you will find the link for the playlist. You will find all the videos for this paper. And then we're going to do now the spreadsheet part. So you have been asked to create a small game of TTT in a spreadsheet. This is a 2-player game that starts with a blank board. Each player places their symbol, either O or an X, into one square. Then the next player takes a turn. A player wins the game when they get 3 of their symbols in a vertical, horizontal, or diagonal line. For example, let's say if it is game 1, first goes first. So you let's say O goes first. So you can see X, then O plays, then X plays. Then if O got it diagonally, then it's all going to be green. Another game also showing you the X starting first, then O, and then X, and then O, and then X got it vertically. For the third game, O started, and you can see that O got it horizontally. So what we need to do, we need first to create a new spreadsheet that looks like this. Skipping A, skipping the first line, and making E also small, and 5 with a small height. So let's go and start to create a new file, or I'm just going to open Excel and I am going to save it in this work area. So I open a new Excel file. I'm going to save it to be in that work area. All right, so do we have any specific name to save this new spreadsheet file? Yes, we do. So it's supposed to be TT followed with your center number and candidate number and so on. So let's save it. Just make sure A is a bit small. And then, okay. There is one point that here, okay, let's read here. Cells B2 till D4 must contain a 48-point sans serif font. Restrict the data entry. Okay, so this is going to matter to us to resize it. So I'm going to select them. Okay, and I'm going to select to set it to 48 point. Okay, so that's making it a bit clear. The size, how much it could be. Let's set the width. Yeah, I guess 10 was perfect. Okay, and after that E also needs to be small. 5 also, 1, and then the surrounding like E and A. And then we need to make it with the borders, and you can see the borders are a little bit thick, and whatever also inside it should be sans serif, and let's keep it bold. And then let's go to the borders. Let's click over here and let's select the thickest border over here and apply it all over. Okay, all right. After that, restrict the data entry for cells B2 till D4 so that they can only contain an uppercase letter O and uppercase letter X, or to be blank. Allow the user to select. Okay, till here, let's go. And let's go to data. From data, let's go to data validation. And over here, let's select list. And in here, we're going to put the list. So we're going to put capital X and comma O. Make sure there is no space after O. Otherwise, it will be allowed only to enter space and O. So we don't need the space. We need the O. Click on OK. Okay, there is one more thing also. It should ignore the blank. So in case it is blank, ignore it. So that allows the blank as well. So X. And let's make it into the center. So that's it's not shouldn't be bold. All right, that's more matching. So let me try small x. Small x is not allowed. O, small o is not allowed. Capital O is allowed. Okay. After that, what we need to do, we need to allow the user to select these letters from a drop-down menu. It's already given from a drop-down menu, and display an appropriate prompt for the user to an error message if incorrect data is entered. So let's highlight and then go back again to data validation. Let's go to input message, input X or O, and enter X or O letter. In case it is error, so we can say input error. We can say enter only capital X or capital Y. I'm putting capital even with capital. Okay, that's it, just enough so far. So if I put R, I get my message with the input error and cancel it. All right, done with this. So question number 4, use 8 conditions formatting rule so that the only 3 winning cells have a green background, like already was mentioned over here. Save your spreadsheet with the name. We're already done saving, so we need to do now this part. Actually, it's just one line, but it's going to take most of your time here in the spreadsheet. So all right, so what we need to do here, we need that whenever 3 X's we have here, it's going to show green, or 3 O's, or diagonally, diagonally like this, or vertically or horizontally. So to do so, let's start by the first line. So as I have, let me O. So if I have the first line, so I need to get it as a green. So let's go to conditional formatting, click on new rule, and go to the last option over here, format values when this formula is true. So what I'm going to do, I need when the O is, this whole line is equal to O or X. So let's start it with X this time. So let's say I will use I want all of them to be equal to X. So all of them equal to X. So there's going to be and in between them. So I want B2 and C2 and D2. All of them to be and. So not to confuse you. So let's set all this to X's. So here it's very important that when you select, when you're going to put the formula, select that specific cell, those specific cells, and then go and set the formula. So go back again here. So equal, when this formula is equal to, only turn to green. So when I want B2 to be equal to X, that's the first one. Okay, so all these are going to be separated by and, so I can just put the and function. So the first option, the first one is the B2 is equal to X and C2 is equal to X and D2 is equal to X. Okay, so what happened if these are all correct? I need to format it to be with a green background. Let's check it. Okay, let's get back again. So what happened here? Let's edit. Okay, I need to make it with the absolute reference. So you can see that the cells, especially now I am controlling the rows, right? So the rows needs to be absolute values. So let's set them with the absolute values. All right, see, it's working. Okay, so let's, now O is not working still. So let's go and try to edit it back again to add for the O. So I need to add the same exactly over here to be for O. So what you need to do over here, just to change all the X's to be capital O. Okay, and so all O's are and all X's are and in between them, so it's either X or O. So we need to use or between them. So let's put or function, and it's going to separate these two functions now for me, and end it with the big bracket for closing for this or. All right, let's check it now. Let's see. Perfect, it's working. Okay, the same way we're going to go now to the second line. So for the second line again, what I can do, let's just copy the formula. It will make it much easier. So Control A, no, I cannot do that. So Control C, close it. Now select the second line and then go to conditional formatting, new rule, and paste it over here. So all you need to do is just to change it to 3. Just be careful. All right, let's try it. I'm going to change this. Great, it's working. Let's try for all. Perfect. Next, third line, the same way we need to go. Yes, that's correct. We need to make it into 4, so it's going to be the 4th line. Don't forget to change the background. And let's check it. I'm going to change it. Great. Okay, now we need to change for the column. For the column, it's going to be a bit different. So let me remove some. So let's go for the first column. Let's go apply the new rule. Back again over here. So for the column, we need to put B2 and then B3 and B4. So B2 is correct, but the only thing is the absolute value. Now we are controlling the column, so the absolute value will be in the column section. So we need to add it for over here. So that's going to turn to B3. So don't forget the absolute value or the absolute cell. And then we have B4. Again, the 4 will be an absolute cell. Let's go to the O section. So I have here to change it to in front of 2. And then I have here B3 and over here B4. And let's add the $sign. Okay. Oh, okay. I forgot one thing, which is making the background with a green color. Okay, let's then copy this one as it is working. We just will need to change the letters in the coming ones. We cancel. Back again. Control C. And let's go to the second. We're doing column, so let's go. Alright, over here we just need to change to the letters. So it's instead of B, it's going to become C. and this last one is going to be D. So just change all the B's to D. Okay, so it's working. So now we need to go to the diagonal. So let's remove and let's select. So now to select it, we need to hold the control button on the keyboard. So select B2 and then hold keyboard control button on the keyboard and click on C3. Keep holding and go and click on D4. So you have 3 cells got selected. And then let's go to new rule, and the same way we're going to apply it over here. Now for this one we need just to do also the same thing. So I am going to paste the whole formula and I'm just going to say, so B2, the whole cell is going to be an absolute cell. Okay, so I don't want it to be shifting to the right or to lower side. Okay, so it's going to be B2. After that, the second one, I have it C3, not B3. So let's change it to C3. And let's apply the value. And then over here, what do we have? We have D4. It's very simple. You just need to be careful about the absolute cells. Okay, so that's it. And then the same thing, we're going to do it for the O section as well. So alright, we're done. So apply just the background and let's check it now. Great. Good, it's working. Let's change this one. Yes, the same thing. Now hold D2 and then C3 and B4. All right, what we're going to do, we're just going to copy the diagonal one. It's going to make it very easy for us. Is it this one? Yes, correct. Control C, cancel. Let's select it. 1, 2, 3. No, sorry. It should be this and this and this. And let's go to new rule. Apply it over here. Just change the cell. So it needs to be, this time the B needs to turn to 4. So make it to B4. And the C, it will remain the same. And the D will turn to 2. So just 2 digits to change here. And another 2 digits as well to change here. So instead of 2 in B, here it will turn to 4. And in D, it's going to turn to 2. Change the background. Okay, it's working, and this way as well also working. So that was our 8 formula. So if you want to check it, you can highlight overall, go to manage rules, and you can check how many formulas that you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 formulas. So for 3 rows, 3 for 3 columns, and 2 for the diagonal. Okay, finally save it. We already saved it with that name, and just make sure it is Control S and it is saved. And after that, create a new word process document, save it as an evidence, followed with your center number and candidate number. Let's go and create it. Where is the new? I need to add a new file. So what do we need to save in a Word document? So in this document, you create a test plan to test only one of your 8 conditional formatting rules. So within your test plan, identify what is it to be tested, the rule used, and the 3 cells it applies to. Select the appropriate test data for all possible results for this rule and use this test plan to fully test this rule. Record the results in your test plan and save the document. All right, to do so, let's go back to our document. So we're going to need mainly 3 columns. The first 3 columns are going to be for the test cells. So those are going to be our test data. So let's choose from here. Excuse me. So let me go back to my Excel and let's choose what we want to set the data. Let's choose these 3 cells, or the first column, 1, 2, and 3. These 3 columns. So it will be B2, B3, and B4. If so, those are going to be my 3 columns. And then what I need more, I need the actual outcome and the expected outcome. First come the expected outcome or result, and then the actual outcome. So basically those are the 5 columns you will need it right now. Then you can add in the beginning test ID that will count how many tests have you done, and then we can put also the test condition, like or the test conditional formatting. What else we can put? We can put the screenshots as well in the actual. So in the actual we can divide it to be with the words that what is the actual outcome, is it green or not green, is it filled with the green or no, and we can show it also. So main things are those 5 points. So in this case I'm going to need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's add 9 for now. Okay, just let me edit from here. I will put 9, and here I can put maybe 20 for now. Okay, so let's add, I'm going to put this as test ID, and this I'm going to put it test data. Test data, actually I'm going to need B2, B3. You can choose any columns or any row, it's up to you. I'm just choosing one column for now. These data are going to be these 3 cells for me. Okay, and then I have my conditional formatting. So let's call it test conditional we're going to put our formula over here. So let's copy paste it and put it from here. And then we can also put expected result, and we can say also actual result. In actual result, as I mentioned, we can put 2. So this is actually not needed, so we can delete the whole entire column. For actual results, I'm going to put okay, we don't need here, we need here. So one, I'm going to show that if it is filled or not, and another I'm going to put a screenshot. So this needs to be all merged. So this also needs to be merged, or I can just put the formula over here, that's also fine, or I just will merge it. Expected result also could be merged, and test ID could be merged. Okay, just because of this data, we have to merge here some of the rows. All right, the whole, let's set it to be in center. We can set these to be bold. We can set the header to be with a specific color, just to make it for us easy to recognize. Okay, and then let's go to our column, these 3, and let's go and copy our exact formula that we wrote it. So here is our formula. Okay, you may change the font if you like to, it's up to you. So I'm just going to put it into the coding. One thing, I will reduce the line spacing. I don't need any line spacing. Great. And let's start now. So let's start with we can just put these numbers later, fill them later. We'll just put few over here. And let's start with, let me adjust this on content. I think this is too big. Alright, how about we change the layout to landscape? It will be better. And then click on the table, right click and make it auto fit to the window. And also make sure that it auto fit the contents. It will adjust. Oh, it did not adjust the content. Let's do it manually a bit. Okay, we can adjust these later, so just now let's start. So we can start that in case everything is, let's start as O. So in case everything is O, what we can say that it is green going to be. So at that time what the formula is going to be, it's going to be true. And what expected result is going to be, expected result is going to expect that B2, B3 and B4 are going, or those cells are going to be turning green. Okay, are they going to turn green or no? Yes, they're going to turn to green. So it's, you can just copy paste it over here, or you can say that it got green fill. Okay, and then let's try it over here. So let's put and let's take a screen capture. And let's go and set it over here. You can choose the picture and go to picture format and set the height or the width to be, let's try 3. Okay, that's a perfect one. Maybe we still need to adjust a bit more, and it's going to be fitting quite properly. This part is really taking a lot of space, so what we can do, we're going to give it to 2 spaces. So 1 space is for or, second is for and it can work a bit here better. Okay, so that was the first condition. Let's go for the second condition. That in second condition, let's keep it as it's going to be O, and then it's going to be X. What will happen at this time is the conditional formatting going to give true or false. True when it become green, false when it does not give any green background. So that's going to be definitely false, and expected result that it's supposed to turn green, but it's not turning. So everything is expected supposed to be turning green, but here we can say there is no green fill or no green filling. And then you need just to go and do it again over here. So this time I put here X. Oops, it's supposed to be capital. And let's take a screen capture and put it for the second one. So we need to keep doing for all the possibilities that you can think of it at the exam time, at that time. So you have all O's or all X's, and then you have when it's going to be switching between O's and X's, and don't forget also the empty or the blanks. For example, whenever it is blank like this or blank in this way or this way, so just do it in order. So I'm going to do it now, all of them. So I am done. Let me check. Yes, I am done. By adding all the conditions, I can reach up to 27 condition. The last one is all blank, so it's going to be false, and it will give me no green filling. So I'm going to show you all of them. Also, I have added the header as well. So put a header that this is the test plan for conditional formatting of the first column, or which rows or columns or diagonally, or which one are you testing. And then But mainly you need these 3 columns and these 2 columns, this and this one. Okay, a screenshot was just added. If you don't want to put it, that's also fine. You don't have enough time, that's also fine. Don't do that. So I started from O's, and then it's just the same way of binary numbers. I thought that O's are all zeros, and then X is 1, and then another, this is 1, tens, and then it becomes units and tens, and just so on, just not to get messed up. And then when I am done, I started with the blanks. So I put in the last column, in the second column, first column, and so on, in 2 columns, and so on. I modify them, and then back again I did for the ones, the zeros, or sorry, the O's, and I kept also putting the screenshots for each time I'm doing. And then I started now to switch blank with O's and X's. So what are the conditions? Put them, all of them, and final one is all 3 are blank. So in this case, you're going to get only 2 green fields when all 3 are O's, or 3's are X's. So let's check the question paper. So in this document can be for 1, okay, one of the 8 conditional formattings that we already did. So what to be tested, the rule used, we already used the rule, and the 3 cells it applies to, okay, and what is to be tested, we already show what we need to be testing. Select the appropriate test data for all possible results for this rule. Use this test plan to fully test this rule. Record the results in your test plan and save the document, and Control S. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions or any comments, you may put it in the comment section and I will reach to you out and to answer you. For the other videos, you will find it in the playlist. I have a playlist for this March 2025 papers, so you're going to find all A-level papers and AS level papers all in this